Previously on Diversity Evil.
I'm gonna go apologize to my bully. I'm gonna escape by jumping off a 50-foot drop. My diversity whammon powers will protect me. Umbrella is experimenting on rabbits. Let's compromise our dad's job by stealing his idea and breaking into the building. Oh look, something's locked in here for a reason. I'm gonna unlock it.
Hi, Wesker. I'm the lesbian in charge of this building. I have a wife. Oh, look, there's my wife. Good morning, women. How's your wife? Oh, she's fine. She has nothing to do with the story, but I have a wife and I feel the need to mention it. And that is where we left off in the world's most accurate video game adaptation. The third episode starts off by showing us that a bunch of people were getting shot at by a drone. Jada escapes, and we go back to present-day Degrassi, where we see that Billy Eyenut is in the bathroom looking at herself in the mirror. Turns out that she hasn't been brushing her teeth in a long while because her gums are bleeding. Okay, so she's showing symptoms of the dog bite from before. Lance wants to see her, but Jada gets in the way and says, "Hey, I'm hungry. What's for lunch?" And he's like, "I gotta go check up on your sister." And she's like, "Oh, she's fine. Nothing wrong, nothing at all." He tells her to let her sister know that her dad wants to see her, and she's like, "I will, sir." Right there, he should have instantly been like, "Oh God, what the hell did you guys do now?" And run upstairs to go check on her, because if anyone that's not related to that dumb bimbo can take this as her covering for something that's wrong, then how could her own father possibly not catch on to that hint that she just gave off? She's been a bitch to him from day one, and this is the only time she calls him sir, and not in a sarcastic way. I mean, besides the fact that she's acting all nervous, you gotta be a complete moron to not take a single hint that she's giving off right here. And this is supposed to be Wesker, right? Isn't he like, I don't know, smart? I could be wrong, at least that's what this show's telling me. He then goes over to his lab where he injected a lab rat with a virus, and it turns out that the rat escaped. We go back to the future, and Jada is hiding with a few other survivors. She tells them that it was Umbrella that was trying to kill them, and they think that's ridiculous, and Umbrella would never do that. Oh, if only the writers of this Diversity Evil show could take a minute or two to just watch the intro cutscene to Resident Evil 4 to see that everyone knows that Umbrella is responsible for what happened in Raccoon City. But then again, I think they know this because earlier they gave an interview to Lesby Browse over here, and they sort of implied that Umbrella was responsible for what happened there. So are these survivors here, what's the word I'm looking for? Stupid? Oh yeah, I forgot. In order to make the diverse protagonist look smart, they have to dumb down every single character around them, because to them, the writers I mean, it's just nearly impossible to actually write an intelligent protagonist. And this is always the same problem with every woke show, movie, and video game out there these days. Makes you wonder if the writer for this show wrote the story for all those shows, movies, and games, right? Because it's just so damn identical in execution. Was this writer like homeschooled by their own little sister? That's my theory, at least. I mean, how else can you explain the level of idiocracy within the show and all the other products that are very similar to it nowadays? So Lance found the infected rat, and it didn't show how he captured it, which is odd because what was the point of having it escape by breaking through the glass? And how was it even able to break through the glass? Lance was holding a little plastic tub when looking for the rat. You're telling me that it could break through thick glass that is meant to keep specimens sealed within it, but a plastic food tub is more secure?
Good job.
Meanwhile, the angsty teens continue to do what angsty teens do. Billy-eyed Twitch stares at the mirror again, and with the way she's dressed, she seems to be mutating into the pop star reference she was solely made for. So for a moment there, I thought she was going to start singing one of those Billie Eilish songs. The editing effects were hinting at it, weren't they? She then goes downstairs. She tells her dad that she's going to school, and he checks on her injury and mentions that it's getting better. She asks if that means that she can go to school, And Jada responds for him. She says, "That means yes." Lance, this is the part where you take a lesson from good old Samuel L. Jackson and tell Jada,
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
Personally, I would have just said, Jada, can you do me a little favor? Just shut the fuck up for a second. Nah, for a minute. Can you put away that annoying facade of yours and do the exact opposite of what your teeny little brain tells you to do? Can you? Or is that just too out of the reach for someone so irritating like you? In fact, here's a better idea. Hold your breath for about 5 minutes. If you can do that, I promise you, I won't get in the way of any of your shenanigans that you have planned in that pathetic little brain of yours. Please, take that dare. I bet you'll lose. Don't you want to prove me wrong? I know you do, 'cause you think you're right all the time. Honestly, Lance's character is just too much of a dumbass here for letting her go to school. Think about it. She was infected. Since when could you just let an infected person go off scot-free to a school with tons of people around that don't have the same immune system as you, the infected? I mean, what if the bimbo sneezes or coughs and there's still a small trace of the infection within her? The more I think about this, the more I want to just bitch slap the hell out of these two annoying ass bimbos, including fake Wesker and that donkey-brained writer for coming up with this horrendous story. The two bimbos go to school, the white guy that helped Jada with the umbrella firewall approaches them, and Billy Eyefloater walks away. Jada is about to go after her, but points at the guy first and says, "Stay." Damn, man, that bitch is so unlikable. Imagine telling a girl the same thing that she said to him. See, that's why I can't stand this type of bullshit from woke products such as this one. They contradict the crap out of themselves because, first of all, we know that they would flip their shit if a guy said stay to some chick, right? Especially because of her ethnicity, right? You know that's true. So why the hell is it okay in their eyes if it's done the other way around? Not only are they hypocrites for doing this, but we know why they're doing this. They're trying to make the dumb bimbos look strong and empowering, and they do not allow guys to say these things to the girls of this show. So because of how obvious they're being, they're only making these bimbos 1,000 times more intolerable. And again, they write the male white characters to be extremely stupid and do whatever these bimbos say. It's like, if this was a real situation, the guy would have pointed back and said, "Go." This way, like, this would have been a perfect comeback, because she doesn't like to be told what to do, right? And she would have had like a brain aneurysm trying to figure out whether she should walk away or stay, since she doesn't want to do something that a white guy tells her to do. So they're making her like very intolerable and unlikable by these actions because they think that this is what makes for a strong, empowered woman, right? But that's the thing, they're not doing it right. They're taking the word strong and empowering and misreading the definition of the words. The writer or writers think that empowered and independent woman equals a total bitch that walks all over any man and is right about everything, even when she's actually wrong about everything. That is in no way the definition of a true, empowered, and independent woman. A good example would be Ellen Ripley from the movie Aliens. Not once does she act like a total bitch to the Marines for not believing her or going against her opinions about the circumstances with the xenomorphs. Her actions speak a hell of a lot louder than the bitchy words coming from the doofus Jada over here. Not to mention that her acting is perfectly portrayed by Sigourney Weaver. She's human, she sympathizes with victims, she shows vulnerability, she cries, she shows emotions, and people can relate. Take notes, modern day whammon writers. No one is perfect. A good character learns from their mistakes. They do not blame others for their mistakes. They do not treat others like lesser people just because of their gender or ethnicity. They do not jump off a 50-foot drop and survive with zero consequences. They do not act selfish and go to a crowded area when they know that they're sick and infected. They think about these things before acting upon them. They don't go around saying that they're intelligent and show the complete opposite. They need to show intelligent actions. Do you see why none of these characters in this show are likable? Even Lance's character has done one too many dumb decisions here. The owner of that umbrella building has shown to be a complete moron herself. No one is intelligent in this show. And that is why I, along with every viewer of this show, is just having such a horrible and tough experience getting through a single episode of Diversity Evil. It's not that we just want to hate it. It's that we've had hundreds of competent movies and shows that have written intelligent characters with logical actions and a great and interesting story to tell as well. But here, they didn't bother to try. They're just too stuck into their own fucking agendas. I mean, this? What the hell am I supposed to be invested in? Two angsty teens that are complete dumbasses and are total assholes to their father who treats them well and gives them everything they could ever ask for? He doesn't beat them, which they are definitely always asking for, and yet they try to compromise his job? They're also practically racist for treating Caucasians the way they do. Didn't Jada call them freaks in the first episode? Man, I could just go on with explaining why this show could never work, but I gotta get through the rest of this catastrophe. We know why the show sucks, but I just had to give you all a detailed reminder. I guess for anyone who hasn't been paying attention, right? Anyways, Billy Butthole throws a fit when the white kid approaches them. He sarcastically tells Jada, "Good thing your sister likes me very much." And she responds, "Why do you care?" Man, what I would have told her after responding to me that negatively,
I can't say.
So after a long while of nothing, the future bimbo is traveling with a bunch of survivors and they run into an area where there are liquors. As soon as they mentioned liquors, the disappointment hit hard just by hearing them mention liquors. You know why? Because even though Bimbo Jada mentions that they hunt by sound, I already knew that they were gonna get this wrong by their executions. As in, Jada is gonna make all the loud noises she wants, but her plot armor will keep her from harm. Whereas every other NPC over here can be as silent as an old fart, and yet the liquors will immediately react to them. And was I right? Well, sort of. Because Umbrella soldiers show up, right? They make loud ass noises as they approach them. They're approaching the quiet survivors with loud ass sirens or so. And yet, no liquor leaps towards them right away. It takes a while for one soldier to get killed. And it was also a quiet soldier, by the way. But already, I gotta ask, how come these Umbrella soldiers and the guy leading them aren't aware of what a liquor, like what it looks like or what sounds it makes? How come they're acting like this creature is new to them? How? Tell me, writers, how? Did you forget that while writing this scene? By the way, everything looks pitch black. So if you were willing to put up with this mess of a show in hopes of seeing the liquors in action, well, this is it. Was it worth it? Sorry, but the disappointment is endless with this show. People die, but I can't tell who. Even when they have flashlights or high beams on vehicles, it looks like the light only shines about 2 inches wide.
Good job.
Oh, and here's the best part. A liquor actually targets Jada. But just like with the giant caterpillar, it slowly gets close to her face. It knows she's there, so it's not like it's wondering if someone's right there in front of it. But this is what happens whenever a creature or any type of enemy approaches our strong whammon protagonist. They simply aren't allowed to attack her. Everyone else gets immediately attacked, but Jada? Nah, it doesn't work that way. It even screams in her face. Oh, just like the caterpillar that's not allowed to attack her, just has to. The most it can do is get up to her face and scream. She even has time to turn around, run, open a car door to get it in between the two. That somehow works. And while that happened, a different liquor was able to kill about 5 or 6 other survivors because it wasn't a stupid liquor or it wasn't taking on any diverse protagonists. Sit down, writers. Think about this. Let's say every liquor in this scene approaches all their victims the exact same way that the liquor that approached Jada did. How many victims do you think would have been killed? Take your time. You can use apples and oranges to count if it's becoming too difficult to solve. Here, I'll put it this way. Maybe this will help you get your answer. Your mommy and daddy bought you a Happy Meal from McDonald's. You ate it right away because it's delicious to you and you would not waste time to shove it down your gullet because you were starving and you love it. Then a couple days later, they buy you another Happy Meal, which is great because again, you love it and you were starving, right? Do you immediately start eating your Happy Meal like before? Or do you suddenly, out of character, just stare at it, put it close to your face, sniff it a bit, then yell, "I love Happy Meals!" And finally, but slowly, begin opening the bag to start eating it? Okay, I'm sure you still don't know the answer, but I bet all your viewers do. So to their logic, she gets away. We're back to Degrassi, and the teenage bimbo years. Lance tries convincing the non-intelligent higher-up that they need to come up with a cure for their We Happy Few ripoff pill, and she agrees. She then opens the lid holding the infected rat and grabs it. If she actually has the virus within her body, then this can work as a way of hinting it. But if she only did this to show some sort of dominance, and she's not actually infected, then once again, writers, you just showed what a complete and utter dumbass she is. In the future, we see a giant CGI spider now, but again, it's all in pitch black, so you can't really tell if it's PS4 or PS1 graphics. It kills a guy by impaling one of its legs through him. It's not exactly how spiders kill its prey, but what am I expecting with this show, right? What am I expecting? Logic? Here's more of their logic. Look at how close it is to them, right? Now look how it's suddenly so far from them that you can't even see it when the camera's facing its direction. What happened, dear writer? Did your sack itch and you suddenly lost your train of thought and forgot that a giant spider was chasing them from behind? Heck, even the actor was fucked up on this part. They were running from one direction. Then, as they were making their way into a new entrance, they were looking at the opposite direction as if the spider was coming from that way and not from behind them. I want to blame CGI monsters for this one since there's practically nothing there for the actors to react on, but they were all running from the left. So if they were running away from something from the left, then why are they looking at the opposite end of that tunnel instead of behind them?
Good job.
The spider can also roar. The giant caterpillar was able to roar as well, I just forgot to mention it. Could this be the same writer from Jaws 4? Anyways, the guy sacrifices himself to distract the spider while they try to get away from it. But he didn't even have to do that because the spider doesn't know where they are. And even if it did, it would take half a second to kill the man by stabbing its leg through its torso. Well, through his torso. I hate this writer. Oye, pendejo, you don't need to sacrifice yourself if the four of you are already far from it and in a completely different room than where it's at. In fact, you're gonna lead them right to them, you fucking moron. God, is this episode almost over yet? The spider kills him, of course. It chases the others. Bimbo Jada pulls a lever and a gate or something falls on top of it, killing it. I really can't tell what it was. It's just too damn dark to tell. Back at the youth center era, smart-ass Lesby tries convincing others at a board meeting that they should sell their We Happy Few pills along with a new type of pill that can pretty much control people into doing what Umbrella wants. But they mention that it takes up to 20,000 pills for someone to consume in order to turn into a zombie. First of all, how the fuck did they figure that out? Did they literally have someone just chugging down 20,000 pills to realize this? 20,000? Are the writers really expecting anyone to believe this? Come on, man. One thing. Can you writers just seriously not make one thing make sense in this shit show? God. We then go back to the dumbass teenage bimbos and Jada asks the white kid if he got through the website again. But he tells her that Umbrella updated their firewall, which hasn't been done in years. He asks, what's going on? And she doesn't want to tell him. Jada, you already involved him, you dumbass. You're not protecting anyone here by not telling him. You're only making yourself look like an even bigger idiot than before. She immediately throws a fit. And Billy Eyeholes attacks him. Man, these girls are so damn emotional. Get a grip, you fucking morons. He didn't do anything wrong. Stop being this stupid and annoying. Please. Please. I can't take another second of these two stupid sisters. Chicana, where are you? Please come back. We need you. Billy slightly slaps Jada's hand away from her and she falls to the ground, shocked that anyone actually laid a hand on her. That's not good enough. We need like 10 Gordo burritos shoved down her face to make up for everything that she's been putting us through. She runs away, then Lesby shows up and talks to Jada. Then they both combine their annoyances to try to kill more brain cells from their viewers. Actually, she turns out to be the white kid's mother. So, let me get this straight. Jada is trying to compromise her father's job with the help of the white kid so he too can compromise his mother's job?
Good job.
What a message. Moral of the story, all parents are bad and you should be as reckless as possible to ruin their career and throw a tantrum every 2 minutes or 1 minute or 30 seconds. I don't know, it's hard to tell with each scene over here since it transitions to the future back and forth. In the future, Jada then she gets captured by Umbrella, but then a different group shows up and recaptures her from them. They hit her in the head and that knocks her out. What a pleasant ending, I guess. Just because of that. And that's the end of the episode. Nothing else to really talk about. If I missed anything, it wasn't important. And it wasn't anything we didn't already know. I can't believe I'm putting myself through this shit show again. But even though my initial plan was to completely ignore this series, it wouldn't have made a single bit of a difference to Netflix or the creators of this catastrophe. But if I roasted the hell out of each and every episode, well, that definitely makes a difference now, doesn't it? So, I'll see you all in the next episode of Diversity Evil. That's it for the video. Thank you all for taking the time to watch this video, and if you truly enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more content from this jabroni. I cover lore videos, facts, movies, and game reviews, all based on my favorite franchises such as Resident Evil, The King of Fighters, Mortal Kombat, Celebrity Deathmatch, The Mask, Dragon Ball, The Terminator, TMNT, and more. I'd like to give a very special thanks to all my Patreon supporters. This video is for you and I hope you like seeing your name at the end credits of this video. And if you too would like to see your name at the end of a new vid, be sure to join my Patreon where you also get to receive exclusive videos and updates such as new art panels for my Resident Evil Outbreak comic that I'm working on. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next video and remember to have an awesome day.